Hello and welcome to Speed Force Racing, the League versus League 2. This is TTL versus SFR. Sorry we couldn't get you in the lobby. There was a lot of confusion with what was happening around. But we're coming to USA, and let me just quickly bring in my co-commentator, Kieran from TTL.
Hello everybody.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Bit of a sore throat, but we'll carry on through it and see how we go.
Yes, let's power on and hope for the best.
Yes, let's.
This has been a bit of a messy start from us. We had a lot of confusion in the lobby. That's why we're not in the lobby right now. Won't go into too much detail. We'll quickly run through the teams now. No fancy intros. If you could just run through the TTL driver, and I'll run through the SFR driver for Mercedes.
Absolutely. So Mercedes, we've got Mays.
And for Speed Force, we have Techno, the Season 1 champion.
In the Red Bull, we have Weed Nation.
Have to censor that. But it's SFR Lienel for Speed Force. Skip that so I don't get copyright.
In the Ferrari, we have Light E.
And we have T. Jonas for Speed Force.
Lambo heads up the Force India.
And Noak joins him.
Blizzard takes his place in the Williams.
Honey Badger keeping his car firmly on the ground this time.
Poe is there in the McLaren.
And Joshua Fletcher, I believe, who is still running is still leading the championship in Season 2, is right next to him.
Darren Sinclair is in the Toro Rosso.
Our Lord and Master Nightwalker is among us once again.
And Siege will be racing in the Haas for today.
My teammate SFR Chopper joining him.
Steph will be racing in the Renault for today.
And Gamey Things joining him.
And in the Sauber, last but not least, Traw is in the Sauber.
And finally, Humbug heading up our 10-car lineup for SFR.
So we should be looking for a good race today, Jack.
We most certainly should be. It's going to be interesting to see how these drivers react against each other. Never have we seen all of these drivers on track together at the same time.
This must be a new strategy everyone's coming up with.
Yeah, I mean, they've all come out at once, haven't they?
They really have, haven't they? They have no quarter given. I'm sure these guys know about dirty air and giving each other space on the track, don't they?
Most certainly. I know SFR do. We are going to sit on board with Noak, actually, who's just left in his Force India. So we're going to sit on board with him. Actually, no. We're going to go to Lienel, as he is the first SFR driver on my list. I don't know if he's the first one on track, but he's definitely the first on my list.
Well, the first on my list is Poe for the TTL League. He'll be hoping for a good race today, and it must be very tense then, going into a league battle. You've commentated on a league battle before, Jack. What's the intensity and the rivalry going to be like today?
There's definitely going to be some moves that we're going to think are questionable, but if the drivers get along with it, they should be fine. The animosity last time is that we had good, hard racing each lap we were going, and I could barely talk at the end of it.
Well, that's good then, encouraging for my voice by the end of the race then.
Most definitely. Obviously, the last race with URL, we lost just by, I think, 10 points was the margin after Fletcher Boy crashed out, who has just left the session. Oh dear.
Well, that's not good then.
It most certainly is not for our hopes. Hopefully he can get back into the session. I'll keep one eye on my phone and just make sure that he can get in. But he crashed out on the back of Garfield from URL. So looking back from the past, hopefully he can get back into his car and see if he can get some qualifying laps in for McLaren.
Well, I'm currently on board with Darren Sinclair now, heading through this high-speed first section, and it's weird now to see obviously Darren Sinclair on a wheel. How much does that affect the drivers then, wheel versus controller, especially at a track like this?
The S's here are so much smaller than what I would have liked. I most certainly prefer he's letting a car through, actually.
Yes, he has. I think he ran too deep going into 11 there and picked up some debris and marbles, so he's backed out of that lap.
I mean, good to note as well, he's on the super soft tyres, the Red Bull tyres, which is the medium compound we've brought to us to America.
Yes.
But no, the S's are so much more tighter than what I would have wanted. from a track like this, I like a good long S's, like in Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. Not saying that because I'm British, but
No,
I
not at all.
do. I do like them more, and I struggle with the S's here. I've spun a few times. Honey Badger setting the pace for SFR with a 1:33.9, and Humbug following suit with a 1.
Across the line then. Sorry to speak over you, but Poe's leading the way for TTL, then 1:34.0 for Poe there.
Very close between the two drivers.
That's Weed Nation there, 1:34.7.
Just to any SFR drivers who are listening, please invite Fletcher boy Joshua Fletcher, because he has disconnected and he needs an invite ASAP. Ooh.
And that is Lambo, 1:33.4, puts himself at the top of the leaderboard for now.
That's absolutely brilliant. That's a good lap there from Lambo. Let's go on board with Techno Thriller, the Season 1 champion, who I think has just cut a corner. No, his time's still going round, so he's fine.
Is fine at the moment and heading towards turn 11. Always easy to lock up going into turn 11 there. It's all about getting that exit absolutely spot on.
It most certainly is. Along this back straight, it's much like China. You have to get the best exit from that corner and push like mad down here. Keep the car as straight as possible so you're not making any movements in the car.
Coming out towards turn 13 and it's looking like a decent lap right now. Blizzard, 1:33.1 there, goes fastest so far. Another good lap time.
It most certainly is. Oh, Techno Thriller, he's lost it. His wheel is off. Oh. Just as Joshua Fletcher rejoins. Oh, the Season 1 champion has just put himself in a big hole. Darren Sinclair there for TTL going up to 1:33.8 on the super soft tyres. That's a scarily quick time. Yellow flags for all three sectors right now.
So we've got 16 lap times on the board then.
Jamie
Thieves has lost it into the wall.
Sorry to interrupt you. Poe, I believe his name is, has just missed the pit lane.
Oh. Well, he's in there now. So,
yeah, just caught the aftermath there. Let's go down to the Sauber of Raw. Is that T-Raw?
Yes, T-Raw, Traw. I've been pronouncing it Traw, but I could have been pulling an absolute crofty and pronouncing it wrong all this time. But you know,
I shall name you T-Raw because that sounds awesome. He's coming into the pits. Yeah, we are in the 5-minute marker. So Fletcher boy, or Joshua Fletcher, I do apologise getting his name wrong on stream. Ooh, I'm not going to be thanked for that one. He's come into this race, been disconnected. Now he's reconnected. He's literally got a 1-lap shootout.
Yes, and all the pressure in the world then on Josh there, as he's got to get a good lap time and only one chance to do it.
He does only have one. I am going to... Everyone is coming into the pits, so I'm trying to find... Let's have a look. Is Weed Nation coming into the pits? No, he's not. He's out on a setup lap by the looks of it. One hopes.
3.7 seconds down there from sector 2, so doesn't look like he's on a lap there.
Could be that he's coming into an in lap, but hey-ho, he can have some look. Let's go down to Noah, who I think has just come onto a fast lap. Oh, he's just ahead of him, I think. Yeah, going to catch him on the back end of his lap. Car number 40 in the Force India coming down to the final corner. Looks nice and tidy. Where does he go? Onto a lap.
I tried to warn you. Yeah, here we go then, Noah, coming up into turn 1. Always braking later up into turn 1 because of the uphill climb going into that first corner. Then we head through the S's now. How's he going to get this nailed?
Nice and tidy there. Oh, bit of a slide. That might have been just some lag.
There might have been some lag, and he's on the super soft tyres as well, so let's see how far up the field he can get.
Noah, an exceedingly fast driver, from what we know, coming up to pass a car. Good that Humbug stayed on the left on the track. Nice hit
we should probably just have a little bit of a break here to say that it's not going to be the normal points here today. Every driver, whatever position they finish, will score a point. 20 points for first, 19 for second, and so on and so forth until we reach 20th, who will score a point.
It's another reason to stay encouraged that even if you're in one position, don't crash or retire. Don't retire if you're in last on your own, because you could score your team the winning point.
Exactly that. As, we'll see Noak now coming towards, I believe this is turn 16 and 17, flat out through there, is he?
Max
not letting up the
Verstappen's
throttle
favourite
at all.
corners in Formula 1.
We're now heading up to turn 20 now, the final corner. And where will this put Nowak then?
I'm going to predict 5th. 3rd.
And it's higher than that, it's 3rd place.
Most certainly is. Joshua Fletcher still in the pits. Let's go on board.
Well, I just want to point out, 9th place Siege there has qualified so far on some soft tyres. Now that is an extreme strategy he might be working there.
Most certainly is. He's still in the pits. Nowak has retired, thinking he's done enough.
Well, if he can stay in the top 10, he's got a good strategy on him.
Do apologise, I just punched my mic.
Well, that's okay. Weed Nation thinking that's the job he can do, that's all he can do. He's in 11th at the moment, and we'll see where he'll end up at the end of the session.
Certainly there. Hamburg having a bit of a different line through the S's there. Maybe just set up not working as well through the S's as it could have been. Sector 1, that's a yellow flag. Not even going to bother to look at that because that's probably just someone going wide, judging by how quick it was. And onto the back straight. Very, very nice coming onto the power there for Hamburg. We're actually going to leave Hamburg and go down to Steph in the Renault, see how he does through the S's. We haven't seen him before on the broadcast. He has a car there. It's light, the Ferrari.
Just to the left.
It's very good of him to get out of the way like that. That's probably league orders. Get the hell out of the way. I'm on a fast lap.
Well, I'm not certain. I don't really know what's in the mindset of the TCR lads. It's probably just go as fast as possible. That's normally the tactic, isn't it?
I think that's the tactic for most drivers in racing like this. Steph on for a fast lap. If he can nail this lap, he can possibly challenge up to, I think, 10th. Just if he nailed it. Oh, little lock up there coming into this corner. Won't help the tyres. I don't know Steph's pace, so I'm Steph's pace. Got the S's. Hoping that he can. So I'm just assuming 10th, judging by his initial lap time. It may have been a messy lap to start with.
Well, we'll see what he can do. Pressure's on for one more lap. When he comes to the line, he might actually get another chance here to have another go. It's 53 seconds on the clock.
And Joshua Fletcher is still in the pits.
So Josh Fletcher is not going to set a lap time then in this session. He will start 19th.
Let's hope that he's still in there.
Steph going faster, sorry, but his lap time was invalidated, so he stays in P14.
Let's go on board with T. Jonas, who's just ahead of him, a Speed Force driver in the wonderful Ferrari. Not a fan of this of the Ferrari from 2017. The onboard. Oh, he's sliding a bit there. Oh, he snapped. That's off track. Oh, that's not. Oh, and he's hit him. Oh. That.
And I don't know who the Renault was there.
That was Steph, who we were just on board with.
Yes.
Now. That doesn't look like he'll warrant a 5-place grid penalty. Darren Sinclair taking fastest on the Ultra Soft, so he's come out. But it looks like Steph, no damage on Steph's car. Mays.
His lap time there would have been ruined as well, as he was on another flying lap.
SFR Chopper retiring. Oh, it's absolutely fine. Mays coming into the pits thinking he's not going to be able to do enough. On 14th place, Darren Sinclair retiring too. Lee Nell has finished. Siege, what's that? SFR Chopper is in. Oh, hello. That's one for the stream right there. 2 cars sat in the gravel together. Who else on the lap? A Light, by the looks of it, is on a lap. He is. He's pushing hard. He looks like to be behind Honey Badger. But no one.
3/10 up. Yeah, sorry to keep interrupting you. It's
That's
3/10
absolutely
up
fine.
right now. Going through sector 2. Coming towards the line now. Can he get higher than 8th place?
Well
yes,
done. He's gone 7th. But Honey Badger is already on a lap himself. He's coming up just now towards the end of the session. Towards the end of the lap. Crossing the final corner now. Keeping it as straight as possible. DRS open. And he goes 3rd. Well done, Honey Badger.
Wow.
That is obliterated. That is a good lap. Let's go down to SFR Nightwalker, who's just completed his lap and finishes in 18th place. Now, we're just waiting on Mays.
So there we have it then.
Yeah. Just waiting on Mays to either retire from the thing.
But, well, there we have it then. Blizzard is on pole position then, 132.7. And we'll see how he can do in the race then.
Most definitely. While we're here, shall we run through the grid quickly?
Absolutely.
I'll let you do that honour, as I want to steal lights out, if that's all right.
Well, we've got Blizzard on pole position, Darren Sinclair in second, Honey Badger in third, Lambo fourth, Noek is in fifth on the super soft tyres, watch out for him, Poe is in sixth, Traw in seventh, Light is in eighth, Linell is in ninth place, Siege in 10th on the soft tyre, that's an incredible lap time, Chopper in 11th, Weed Nation 12th, Humbug 13th, Maze in 14th, Steph in 15th, T. Jonas in 16th, Gaming Things in 17th, Nightwalker 18th, Josh Fletcher never set a lap time, and Techno Thriller crashed out of qualifying.
Well, that's the full grid, and for 30 seconds, shall we just look at this right now? If you were racing, Mason retired from the session. Okay, so right now, if you were racing for TTL, you'd think, oh, there's more TTL drivers in the top 10. I'll be good. Would you be thinking that?
Well, qualifying's only part of the picture. Obviously, nothing's decided until that checkered flag after 28 laps of the track. So we'll see after that. But looking good for TTL at the moment.
Let's hope so.
I've just noticed, if we put it out on the stream there, Siege has actually set it on super soft tyres now. That came up as soft on my television.
It has.
But,
it may have been that you had it on current tyres versus best. I probably had it on best as well.
Well, in any case, he looks like he's starting on some super soft tyres.
Yeah, most drivers, I think Gaming Things actually going for the soft tyres. So, coming onto the grid, we have the formation lap. Do you run formation lap in TTL?
We do indeed. It's a chance to go through some of the drivers to look out for during the race.
That's good, because I was really hoping that they weren't all just going to go completely off the grid at full speed. That would have ended very badly.
Yeah, I remember in TTL we had that once before, and it was just straight in. Everyone was just taken aback. But ever since then, we've been vigilant in putting on the formation lap.
I do prefer the formation lap. Builds up the tension. The drivers get a lot more in it. I, for one, felt a bit sick actually at the end of last season during the formation lap. So I had a formation lap of moaning about, oh, I'm going to vomit. I don't like the pressure.
Well, who's the pressure on here? We're running on board with Blizzard here, who has taken pole position on the ultra soft tyres. So obviously leading into turn one, it's going to be a very packed turn one. We could see 4 wide going in there.
We most certainly could, but then again, you don't want to be really following a car too closely through the S's, as the Dirty A will kill you and you will spin around.
I just want to jump on board with Noek here on the super soft tyres. Now, he is definitely one to watch heading into the race there. He's in 5th place on those super soft tyres. It's worth then watching him during the race.
Most certainly, and if we go up to Honey Badger, he's on this, on the ultra softs in a respectable 3rd place, the leader of the SFR crew. So I'm hoping that he can have a good job. Totally not biased over here. Go Speed Force.
Well, Blizzard and Darren Sinclair are in a heated battle in the Drivers' Championship in TTL, and they're 1 and 2 leading in this league battle. But let's hope they can put their rivalry aside just for one day to give us a fantastic race here.
Oh, we should hope so. Let's just jump down to SFR Joshua Fletcher in his McLaren, following very close the man who didn't manage to set a lap time due to a disconnection. He's on the super soft tyres, which I need to just remember that I need to put my my details back onto to tyres and put my lap data back up. There we go. So, how do you think he's going to do from the back of the grid?
Well, he's got a lot to prove, and he's definitely the underdog. So let's just see what his start's like. He's got a lot of drivers there on super soft tyres as well, including Gamey Things, who's on a set of soft tyres. The only driver to choose that set of tyres. So definitely looking there, Gamey Things, to go for a one-stop there on some ultra soft.
Most definitely. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a battle on the formation lap. The McLaren of Poe was just disqualified with Lambo. By the looks of it, a little bit of contact. That's a little bit of a too strict a rule for me. But, excuse me while I burp down the microphone, being very gentlemanlike.
No, you go for it.
So, coming in to this race, we're getting ready for 5 red lights here in America. for the US Grand Prix and the League versus League, TTL versus SFR, or SFR versus TTL if you want to put the winners first. All the drivers have lined up on the grid now. Let's see what they can do. So we wait for the players to re-sync in, just so everyone knows that they're syncing in for the race times. Go to 5 red lights here. Oh, skipped over to 4. Here we go, and lights out, and away we go. And they're all slow off the grid. The McLaren of Poe is very slow off the grid. I got a bad angle for the start. That's a Sauber looking to move. Honey Badger, he's got a pretty poor start as well. He's dropped behind the 2 Force Indias. Nowak getting past him. What are you looking at?
Contact there. That's a Sauber and a Mercedes in the background there. Both went off together.
Oh, it's Honey Badger and Maze. Honey Badger and Maze. Maze with no front wing. Jumping back on board with Blizzard. Darren Sinclair going to pay rear gunner. Is he going to pay rear gunner against Joshua Fletcher? Stop-go penalty for cutting the corner and gaining a place. That's not the way to start the race, unfortunately. Is Darren Sinclair going to pay rear gunner for the league instead of going for the win against Nowak now?
Well, Nowak's had a fantastic start then, isn't he? Riding on board with him. A little bit of lag there, as I'm not sure if that's my connection or not, but he's out of the slipstream for now. Also got to keep an eye on Lambo as well as we head down towards this harsh braking zone of turn 12. As looking well behaved at the moment. There's a Williams back there of Honey Badger trying to have a look up the inside of Lambo.
Sauber's gone wide. This is most definitely going to be a good battle. We see Nowak, he's on the medium tyres, the medium tyre compound here, and he's just as quick as the guys on the Ultra Softs off the line. T. Jonas has dropped right the way back. Can't remember where he qualified, to be honest. I do apologise. I will eventually get my memory sorted. But it seems they're all being nice and clean up as a start. Honey Badger going a little bit wide coming into this court, coming into the final sector. Exiting the final sector. Do apologise.
We've got Siege then and Steph, I believe that is, side by side with each other as they're heading towards turn 1. This is going to be interesting. Who dares wins? Who's going to break later? As they head towards turn 1, looks like it's going to be Steph. Locks up going into turn 1. Has got the position? Yes, he has. Steph then moves up into 9th place.
Poe and Maze both in the pits for what I assume are broken wings right now. They've both had not the start they wanted for TTL, which is going to help SFR, but still, we'll see what they can do later in the race. They're probably going to go on to a one-stop strategy. Attempt to do a one-stop strategy.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just want to draw attention to Techno Thriller, who started from the back of the grid, having crashed out. He's now currently going down into turn 11 here on the inside of Chopper, and he's got the move done there.
As a Season 1 champion passing my teammate. Something I wouldn't normally want to say, but this is exciting racing, and they're both SFR drivers. Don't want to end up tripping over each other. But there's Joshua Fletcher right behind them too, who's defending from Weed Nation actually in the Red Bull. Coming down towards one of the most hated corners in my F1 career, which I call traction because I never get any out of here. Oh, there's Chopper having the same issue as me. That was very close behind Joshua Fletcher there.
Yes, that was I believe that was Weed Nation behind Chopper there. Maybe getting a little bit chopped up, but I think Chopper had the track position there.
They don't call him Chopper for nothing.
So I can see. We're on to lap 3 then. DRS has been enabled. Blizzard leads the way from Darren Sinclair and Nowak on the super soft tyres.
I'm just going to jump back up to Nowak because with DRS enabled, he's going to be right up close to Darren Sinclair. If you see anything else forming, we'll have a look at that.
Very close battles. Looking at the battle for 13th place here. Weed Nation is on the back of Chopper, and through this S section here, you get affected by dirty air quite a bit. Oh, but Weed Nation hang on the back there.
I do apologise. I just jumped because I got a lot of lag there off Nowak. Not sure what that was. Probably my connection to him. I do apologise if it wasn't. If it was. For the stream mainly, but DRS wide open now on Nowak's car. He's gaining, but by the looks of it, not enough. He's looking at a move, but not enough to take on Darren Sinclair yet. Darren Sinclair knowing when Nowak is going to move.
Was that a pun you just made there?
I sure hope. Puns, I have them. Going to drop down to Weed Nation, who's got SFR Chopper right behind him. I do apologise for having to sniff there.
Well, Weed Nation has found a way past Chopper, but can he find that distance he needs to try and chase down Techno Thriller, who was, without a doubt, as Josh Fletcher there getting a little tail happy out of that corner there.
3-second time penalty for Lighty for multiple warnings right now. Joshua Fletcher cutting over my camera angle, which wasn't very nice. I need that camera. Please stop crushing it. Chopper trying to get close, but not close enough. Going to jump back up to Noak. I know we're seeing the same people right now, but he's going for the win. There he is. There he is. He's very close now towards Darren Sinclair coming into the S's.
Or if I could just cut you off, Trotter is trying to go side by side with Lee Nell going through the S's section, and they've both put each other off here, and this could form a train here. Now Light E is trying to have a go up the inside of Steph here. This is a fantastic battle for 6th place, and there's about 6 cars involved in this battle alone.
It most certainly is. The number 41 Ferrari now trying to go after the Sauber, but Lighty is going to try to hold off on the number 13 Haas. Oh, he has stolen my car because that's my number. I wondered why I left that there. A siege there in Haas. It's paying homage to me. Siege there. So this is a massive battle from. I'm not sure where it's from, but oh, they're coming in. They're looking at 3 wide lockups into this corner. They're trying to make it work.
From Lee Nell there as Troy tries to go down the inside, and he's got the move stuck.
Techno Thriller going round the outside of Siege. He's still there. He's got a little snap over here, and 5-second stop-go penalty for corner cutting for Techno Thriller. Oh, that's not how you wanted to see that battle end, is it? Oh, not going really, too wide there. The Red Bull. Who is that? That's Lighty. No, it's Lee Nell. Lee Nell has been punted off the track. Do apologise, but that is just down. I don't think to lag. I think that's just down to how it was. It looked like a side pod glitch to me, but nothing too drastic. Lee Nell, I think, getting a time penalty from that.
Well, I think this battling with Troy here, this 6th place battle, goes all the way down to 13th here with Weed Nation on the back of this train. So this is absolutely fantastic racing, and let's hope everyone can keep it all in one piece.
Oh, and SFR Chopper, like looks of it, has wanted to join in. He can see them in the back, in the distance. He wants to join in. Oh, let me catch up. I want to come. Back up with SFR Fletcher boy. Oh, what's he doing? I can't really see because I've got this angle. On board with Fletcher boy here. Fletcher, I still call him Fletcher boy. His name is Josh Fletcher. Lighty has passed. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Lighty's passed. It's SFR now. Lee Nell, Siege has passed Techno Thriller. As it's all going to be anybody's guess who can get in front down this long DRS straight now.
Here comes Fletcher boy on the inside of Techno Thriller, trying not to take out their own drivers, teams. This is literal 10-car teams right here. Can Weed Nation follow Fletch through around Techno Thriller? No, he can't. He's got to drop back on board now with Lee Nell. I'm going to lose my voice. Lee Nell goes wide, letting Siege go alongside him. Siege has got the position right now. Can he hold it through the S's? He can. He does it. He does make the overtake, unlike Max Verstappen last year. I always bring up F1 in my videos. I'm not sure why.
Nah, you go for it. It's a great battling. We've got, I believe that's Techno Thriller having a little bit of an attack here from Weed Nation. Weed Nation having a little bit of a look, but got himself a 3-second time penalty by doing so.
Lots of corner cutting warnings coming up here from the battling. I've got an awful angle here. Fletcher boy is trying to go alongside his league teammate, which is Lee Nell. Are they going to go too wide through the S's? No, they're not. Fletcher boy pulls out of it. Lee Nell lets him through. So Lee Nell and Fletcher boy know when each other are too quick, and Lee is letting him through. Lee Nell getting a warning there. I know Lee Nell being on the controller. Oh, he's very close to the Season 1 champion. He's let him through, and Weed Nation comes through as well. Oh, contact. Big contact there between the 2 Red Bulls. Just tyres banging, but that was hefty, between the 2 of them.
Yeah, we'll have to check if either of them have got a bit of front wing damage. That can easily be done, even if you run into the side of someone like that.
By the looks of it, no front wing damage. Lee Nell is struggling.
Meanwhile, if I could just take your attention to the top 3 here, Noak and Darren Sinclair have come together, and they're into the wall. Oh. My goodness, that was the battle for 2nd place, and Noak there tried to go up the inside of Darren Sinclair, and no front wing left with Noak. And
not much left for Darren Sinclair either, no.
They're both going to have to come into the pits there, and that's a huge, huge incident we've got there on our hands. Interesting to see this steward's room is like after this race.
Oh, the steward's room's going to have people lining out the walls.
Well, no,
lots of issues here. Darren Sinclair, stop-go penalty for corner cutting by the looks of it into the pit lane. So he's into the pits on lap 7 here. Where is it all gone? A minute ago we were on lap 1.
Well, that's how fun this race has been so far. Looks like, yeah, he's got that 5-second stop-go penalty, so the crew can't do anything until that time passes. There they go now, and it looks like a set of soft tyres going on, so Darren Sinclair looks like he's going to try to go to the end of the race here.
I don't think you'd be able to go to the end of the race on those soft tyres. I would personally make another stop later on in the race and go for super soft tyres if you have enough gap, but he can try and make it. I'm not driving.
Meanwhile, let's join Troy and Steph, both TTL drivers, and looks like it's bad for 4th place. Steph just maybe weaving left and right. Maybe that's a wave hello, but he'll have DRS coming down.
Or is it a wave of let me through, I'm faster? But they're not, they're battling by the looks of it. Or Troy pulling to the left to let him through. That looked very orchestrated there.
Yeah, it might have been, but well, Steph had the DRS. It was much quicker.
You just saw Siege getting past Lighty at the bottom. This is opening it up for Joshua Fletcher to follow him through. On board with him, well, not on board, following him right now. Going to be on board in a moment in that McLaren Honda. A sighting you don't see anymore as Lighty hits us. It goes a little bit wide at traction corner. Oh, a little bit of lag. Lot of lag from me. Do apologise. Honey Badger into the pits.
Honey Badger in from, I believe that was 3rd place. So
that most certainly
was. Strategy call then?
It is. There's, by the looks of it, there's no wing damage. He's going on to the soft tyres. Caught that on stream as Fletcher Boy comes through. Going to go up to T-Raw, who's 5 tenths behind Steph. The two that we saw orchestrated swap there. By the looks of it, I don't know what's happening here because they've gone from 5 tenths to 2 tenths to 1 tenth.
Yeah, I think Steph might have locked up coming into turn 1 there, made him go too deep and allowed Troy to just close up for a bit. But it looks like Steph looks to be extending that gap now.
Joshua Fletcher gaining another time penalty as well as Techno Thriller. It seems the S's are claiming their victims right now. Going to drop down to SFR, what's his name? SFR Chopper, there you are. Because he's very close to Weed Nation. I always have to check myself thinking, what is his name? But he's got Honey Badger right behind him. So the first stopper for what we look at, no damage.
Yeah, it's all about keeping clean, no matter how hard you're battling here. It's all about just getting to the end of the race. All those points do matter. Of course, we are running an alternative scoring system. Meanwhile, Honey Badger on those fresh tyres there.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Honey Badger pulled in front of Chopper there to try and get the position back, and he broke very early, and Chopper wasn't ready for it and had to go all the way around him. And Chopper losing a lot of time there. Do apologise for that. That's possibly going to be a look at the stewards there for our own team due to what looks like a brake check.
Well, meanwhile, if I could just turn your attention to the battle for P9, Weed Nation and Honey Badger. Honey Badger on some fresher, soft tyres. And that looks like an effort then from Honey Badger to try and go to the end of the race. It is doable. You'll have about 80% wear and risking a puncture. But Honey Badger's going to go for a move up into the inside of turn 1 here. And look at that. Fresher tyres versus used tyres. And you can see the difference that made there.
See the difference there as well. Nowak going faster with a 136.3. But Honey Badger, he has the pace, but I think that SFR Chopper making giving himself another penalty. Probably not on purpose though. Very tight right now. Going to go back up to Joshua Fletcher. I'm still reeling from what I saw with him with what the possible brake check. I'm not the steward. I can't make any comments on it. But from what I saw, it looked like Honey broke a little bit earlier than Chopper was thinking.
Well, yeah, because Chopper also got the 5-second stop-go penalty for corner cutting, and so very, very harsh from the game there when he had to take avoiding action.
Yes, the game clearly showing its broken side once more. Going to drop down to Humbug, who's very close behind Gamey Things. two of our own SFR drivers. Is Gaming Things going to show the same? Blizzard getting his, I believe that's his first penalty of the season, of the race.
I was going to say, you're not making a full 20 race season out of this. I don't think my voice could survive.
I don't think my heart can take it, judging by how much we've done in just 10 laps. Humbug here coming up behind Gamey Things, very close. Will Gamey Things show as much restraint? Will show any restraint in his defending as he normally does. He's a massive defender. He's on the hardest compound of tyres. They're very close together. DRS will be enabled now. Humbug pulling up. Lee Nell into the pits, and so is Lighty. Humbug going for the inside. Pretty easy move, Gamey Things. Oh, he's ran wide though. Oh, Humbug just taking too much speed into that corner. And
that might open him up to Nowek here, who's on the ultra soft tyres, and he could have a go here, coming down towards the DRS straight if he gets the S's right.
He most certainly can. We're on board now with Nowek on the actual on the T-cam offset. Oh, a little bit wide there from Humbug. Humbug messing up the S's, and he's gone right the way through without even making it to the straight. I'll have that position. You don't need it anymore. Just jumping up to SFR Chopper, who's very close to Weed Nation. Very close. I don't know if he's alongside him due to lag issues between the two cars, but that's an awful camera angle. But Chopper has made it past, made the move stick. Just going to this corner, and absolutely perfect now. He's ahead of Weed Nation coming into the last part of the lap. Just shout if you see anything, mate, as I see Noah go up the inside of Gamey Things.
I was just going to point out that Josh Fletcher managed to find a way past Siege there. Up into 4th place he goes.
That's brilliant. The man didn't manage to set a time through qualifying. No fault of his own by the looks of it. Just a surge through the lobby. Getting a little bit of lag off this lobby. Nowak with a 3-second time penalty. Not sure why we're getting as much lag. Maybe because I'm streaming at the same time. Normally my internet's fine now, he says. See, now I'm going to disconnect the next race, aren't I?
Oh, absolutely, and it would just be me on my own here, and I won't want that at all. Meanwhile, then, Darren Sinclair on a charge to recover some positions up the inside of T. Johnny's, but T. Johnny's isn't having that at all. He's
little bit of wheel banging.
Side there, as we head through that hangar.
That's wheels off for Darren Sinclair. Darren Sinclair. Oh my goodness me. That's damage for T. Jonas. Sorry to step over your tongue there.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's Darren Sinclair then out of the league battle.
Oh, that's our first retirement. Comes on lap 11 from the man who started the race in 2nd place. Humbug, just ahead, is struggling on his tyres. I'm just going to change from my tyre interview to put on stops to note who's done stopped, and as Darren Sinclair has left, I believe that the slipstream is going to disappear from the lobby, which is going to make it a whole lot more difficult as Blizzard comes into the pits.
Race leader Blizzard then into the pits. Lambo follows him. And what's the strategy here? Will they go on to soft tyres or super softs?
Soft tyres for Blizzard. His ultra softs got a little bit wrecked when they came off. Stop-go penalty for Humbug. 5 seconds for making a mistake there. Going on board with Siege now, who's going to come out ahead of Blizzard. I'll just change back to my tyres. Their positions changed. Siege with a Steph with a brilliant. Oh, Nowak has retired.
That's Nowak.
Where has he retired? Has he retired on track?
Yes, he has. That's coming into turn 20.
Oh,
has he? He's just gone straight on.
That's questionable there. Has he crashed himself out, or has he made a mistake himself?
Well,
but there's something a little bit more interesting happening on track right now. Honey Badger has got right up behind Blizzard, and they're both on the soft tyres, but obviously Blizzard being on... Oh, wheel banging there. Blizzard being on the soft tyres for the shorter amount of time.
Yes, but he's going to have the slipstream here, or maybe there's a lack of... There's definitely DRS, though, that Honey Badger's activated.
So most definitely Blizzard making one move. Blizzard... Oh, he's going the long way round. Is he going to do it? No, not into this corner. Pushed him a little bit wide. All fair racing right there.
We could just go down to Light E, who's got the DRS on Gamey Things, but Draw behind him looks like he's trying to get a double toe, and Gamey Things tries to switch back, but he can't quite find that apex there, and Light E moves himself up into 9th place.
Wow!
Draw trying to go down the inside, and what a move from Draw, puts himself up into 10th place and right behind Light E now, so that he can have a go for 9th place now.
Wow, your guys do not hold back, do they?
Definitely not. If they sense an opportunity, they're going to go for it. Siege then coming into the pits from 2nd place.
I'm just going to jump down to Poe once I can find him on my board. Where are you? There you are. He was close to Linnell. I think he must have got a wash of dirty air. Right now, all I'm seeing is yellow and red for position changes, and I can't tell what's happening.
Well, it's a load of people pitting. We've got Chopper.
Oh, the race leader! The previous race leader, Blizzard, has retired from the session.
And that looked like he got involved with Honey Badger, the teammate there. Well, that's going to be controversial.
Oh, dearie me. There is Williams parts everywhere. Well, let's hope that Lance Stroll doesn't have the same issues in Baku. On board with Siege now, right behind Gamey. Still in yellow flag zones. It's going to be yellow flags all the way through Sector 2 as well. So Siege is going to be stuck behind him. Oh, there's sensing opportunities.
Go for it. Coming into turn 11 now. He's going to go for it, surely.
There's the green flag. He goes to the inside. He cuts the corner. A treat. He should hand back the position. He does not. That's Joshua Fletcher as well coming up behind Gamey. Is he going to give him a toe? Oh, I think that's controversial there. I think Siege should hand back that position because he looked like he overtook off track.
Well, we'll have to look back at that towards the end of the race. That's one for the stewards. That's not one for the commentators. We haven't got a good view in terms of lag.
No, it is not. Steph coming into the pits now. Lambo and Techno Thriller going side by side. Lambo still staying ahead. Techno Thriller peeling into the pits. Going down to T-Raw now. I want to start calling him Terrar now because that just sounds so much nicer. Number 93 Sauber looking towards that is not a nice camera angle. Looking towards the Ferrari. That Ferrari with insane straight line speed. Can he get out just ahead of Siege? Oh, Siege just controversially not giving him enough room. Siege letting him through, knowing that he may or may not have just pushed him wide, just doing the safe option of letting him through.
Jack, that's not Siege. That was Steph coming out of the
Was it Steph?
There.
I do apologise. I'll get them right eventually.
Don't worry, they're used to me commentating with all my Walkerisms. I'm sure they'll be fine with you.
Where are we? I just saw something happening. Honey Badger, that's who I need to jump down to. Honey Badger and Weed Nation very close together. There was a cake tin back there. And that isn't just saying that someone's been making cakes. It means that the brake discs around, they were very close together. Chopper now closer to Maze. In the Mercedes there. What are you looking at?
Josh Fletcher on the back of Siege here. He's run deep coming into turn 12 there. And looks to try and get a better exit. Of course, Siege here looks like everyone on the soft tyres up towards the top 10 now. So just going to jump on board with Chopper here as he's made his way past Maze. As the game is like to trick us here. On the telemetry it shows soft tyres, but as you can quite clearly see, the Red Bull tyres are on Chopper's car. So that does mean he's running the soft tyres.
Chopper has pitted twice this race. No, sorry, Honey Badger, I do apologise, is the only one to have pitted twice, and that's due to damage last I checked.
Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, we've got Steph here trying to make a move on Draw for 3rd place. Couldn't quite nail the pit exit last time around, but he's got a move past Draw, and he's up now into 3rd place. It
most definitely is. And this has opened it up now to Siege. I've got this one right, coming up behind him.
Oh, you've definitely got that one right.
So he's coming up. He's trying to stay as close as he can, but taking a little bit of a different line so he doesn't get as much dirty air as possible. The number 13 Haas. I'm jealous that I'm not in that car because it is my car. Coming down towards the DRS straight.
Must be a good omen, Jack, if it's your car and it's up in 5th place.
I think I left it there from China. Coming now on board with Siege. You take us through this move.
Yeah, he's going to try and move down the inside into turn 12, surely. He thinks about it, but actually backs out of it. And, well, you can take a little bit of curb there because the game doesn't actually punish you for it.
Does it not? I should take notes.
No, of course it punishes you. What am I talking about?
Just jumping down to Honey Badger, who is just past SFR Chopper. That's probably down to oh, hello. This is Poe and Techno Thriller, Season 1 champion of Speed Force Racing, and Poe, who I don't know what he's done, is doing very well to have a little fight there. Into traction, as I call it, coming towards this, and Techno's just got the move done. God, it's non-stop action here.
It's a good move in the end. No, you can hardly breathe. We're going to jump on board with Siege now as he's looking for a way past Draw into turn 1. Now he thinks about it, gets very close to the gearbox there of Draw, but coming through the S's now, he's going to have a lot of dirty air come his way.
Going to go on board on the T-cam now to see how he takes it, because when I take it through here, it's just backwards. Takes it very well, even with the dirty air. SFR Nightwalker getting passed there by Humbug. Nothing too interesting happening yet on track. This is the closest battle we have right now, and it's from 6th place to 3rd.
Yeah, it's not a bad battle to be watching, is it, for the final place on the podium?
Blizzard has now left the session to confirm that he is lost, that he is out of this race. Honey Badger has passed Poe, but it looks of it, Siege is having a nose. Oh, he's cut that corner a treat, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Racers there will take advantage of that.
Sector 1 and 2, brief yellow flags. I'm assuming someone just spanned. Sector 1 and 2, yellow flags again.
Yes, it's T. Jonas. It looks like he's lost the back end there through one of the S's and collected some advertising board with him.
Going down to Gamey Things. Gamey Things and Maze very close to one another. Coming into Sector 3 towards Traction. Gamey Things trying to keep it on there. He's on the fastest compound of tyres. Not the fastest compound, sorry, the second fastest compound as he started on the soft tyres. Ooh, I don't know when he pitted, but will he make it to the end?
Well, Siege here, sorry to interrupt you, has gone down the inside of Draw, and that's going to be Josh Fletcher who tries a move and took a little bit too much curb there. The wrong curb to be doing that. He's got himself a 3-second time penalty, but Siege there moves himself up into 4th. That invites then Josh Fletcher to have a little bit of pressure applied onto Draw there.
That most certainly does. Just following on, Maze has just pitted. We caught that on my stream right now. So Maze has entered the pits. I think that must mean that he's two-stopping. He was on the he's on the ultra soft tires now. So he's done, what was that? Ultra softs.
Yeah, it looks like a standard 2-stop then, as he's putting on the fastest tyre for the last stint. That's not an odd strategy to go for, but you need to do a lot of overtaking.
Oh, T-Raw getting very close there. Joshua Fletcher deciding he wants to get involved and he wants to overtake. T-Raw looking too far forwards, not enough behind him.
Yeah, well, he's got Siege right in front of him. It's forgivable here, but if he's not careful, Josh Fletcher's going to take this position.
What's happened to Josh Fletcher? Josh Fletcher's still there. He's still there. I'm still here. I want to go too wide through here, he's saying. The McLaren on the Sauber, a little bit wide there for the Sauber, but it's let him through. It's absolutely brilliant racing there.
Yeah, that was the move Max Verstappen wanted in 2017, wasn't it? But fantastic bravery there from Josh Fletcher. He's got himself 5th place.
He most certainly has now. He's going off to 4th. He wants it. He can smell blood in the water. Smell blood in the water, looking for Siege's weak points. Once he gets past Siege, he'll be in open air for 2 seconds to go after Steph, if Steph isn't too busy trying to fight after a Ferrari of Lighty. Right now, on the podium, all 3 are TTL drivers.
Yes, but further down the field, it's a little bit more spread out. And of course, with the different point system, we're not really sure who's going to be winning this one. It is
very confusing.
And, yes, the favourites pretty much out of the race. Blizzard, Darren Sinclair and Noek all crashing out of the race, leaving Lambo to lead the way by 12.1 seconds.
They've all crashed out in mysterious ways. We know Darren Sinclair was due to contact with Noek, if I remember correctly. and Blizzard by what we think was contact with his teammate. The steward is going to be so busy tonight.
Yes, well, we saw, I believe that was Noek coming into turn 20, who, well, it's a very odd place to lose it, just go straight on. So I'm sure that'll be investigated after the race.
I think it will be looked at. When I went on board with him with his carcass of his car, there was it didn't look like there was any skid marks, so it didn't look like he locked up. I think skid marks are in this game, I can't really remember.
Well, riding on board with Maze here as he challenges Humbug coming down towards turn 12. He's got DRS here, but Humbug is actually staying ahead of him here, so maybe running a little bit less drag to help him along the straights here. Meanwhile, then Maze trying to go switch it up the inside here, but no dice. Humbug closes the door and makes it very difficult for Maze to go past. Maze then still looking for that way past.
Oh, Maze is clearly getting frustrated. You can see by the way he's positioned the car to take the shortest line. But that was close.
That's the line there from Maze.
That most definitely was. That was a little bit close. If he had any closer, he would have lost that wheel. Oh, that's a dive bomb. That would, to me, that should be handed back. Oh, he's weaving. I think he didn't take kindly to Humbug weaving ahead of him. Not due to, I don't think he was weaving any animosity. I think he was weaving due to that's the way the racing line was going.
Well, we jump on board here with Steph here, who is trying to chase down Lighty, and there's a flurry of cars behind him. That's Siege, Josh Fletcher, and Traw just starting to fall away a little bit as they're trying to battle for third place.
I will join you up there in a moment. Just see if, by the looks of it, Weed Nation can't get past Chopper due to the drag on there. The Ferrari taking an odd line there as I jump on board with Steph. Coming round towards the end of lap 20, start of lap 21. Oh, I do apologise. Start of lap 20 for these drivers. I forget we're not looking at leading pair. Steph looking at the inside. Is he there? He's there. Not too much defending. Oh, has he?
Went too deep there, Lighty. Yeah, Lighty got the position back there. So Steph is going to have to do all that hard work again.
He most certainly has. He's got to catch up. Make sure that the Renault can get through these corners. The tyres for the one-stops might start to go off a little bit. But has Maze's two-stop and Poe's two-stop just seem to have not got them as far as they wanted?
All will be revealed towards the end of the race when tyre wear starts to become not a worrying factor, but a deadly factor in the how much the tyres will actually survive. Look towards the end of the race then for punctures, especially on the right-hand side. I believe that's where the most tyre stress is. The left-hand side, pretty much stress on any tyre. Any of the tyres could go.
Any tyre could go, and that's the way we like it. I think Speed Force's motto: if you're not in control, you're not going fast enough. Well, I butchered a motto.
As Steph there, still trying to chase down Lighty, got a little bit wide there as we head into traction, your favourite zone, Jack. As we now head towards the right-handers here of, I believe, 17 and 18 here. And right on board with Steph here, still trying to attack into 19. And Lighty runs slightly wide, and in previous games, that would have got you a penalty. Now Steph trying to go up the inside into turn 20. He's lost the back end once again, but he will have DRS now. Going up the main straight and up towards turn 1. Lighty goes defensive here, trying to defend that inside line. Steph will try and go round the outside. And what will he do here? Will he try and cut back? Yes, he will. Try and take a better exit and a better apex. And then I'm going to go side by side into turn 2 and then through turn 3. Steph, does he have that position?
He does not. He's still there. He's conceded it. He's given it up. Oh, well, give it up is the wrong term.
All of that work again.
Oh, you can't go too wide for this. This is playing right into Fletcher's hands, Joshua Fletcher and Siege's hands. Siege, I don't want to get involved in this battle. Oh, contact. That's an end plate.
Yes.
That's an end plate off.
Yes.
One of the cascade elements is gone from the Renault. That's tough around this track.
Well, he's got 8 laps to nurse that car home, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be an orange front wing. But meanwhile, look at Siege here on a charge. He's taking advantage of this drama happening, and he's up into third at the moment, but only by 0.02 of a second. Going now into turn 12, and he's gone over that curb again and run a little bit wide into Light E. Light E will take that position back.
No!
Now Josh Fletcher has run into the back of Siege there, losing a bit of front wing as it's all getting a little bit
touchy-feely through the top four.
Touchy-feely indeed. But Josh Fletcher does go up into 4th place.
Oh, this is very difficult. Oh, not for long. He's not. Ooh, very close there. Sorry, I had a helicopter camera angle. I was watching to see how that would unfold. It almost looked like Siege was going to lose an end of his end plate, so they'd all be matching.
Well, this is playing perfectly into Lambo's hands because he's just able to drive and keep going. 15.5 seconds separates him and Steph, and whilst they're all battling, that's going to be drawing a lot of drivers now. Troy is joining this battle now. He's only 6/10 behind Siege, and this could also play into Honey Badger's hands as well. He's on the super soft tyre, going for a more aggressive strategy. This could bring him into a battle for the podium.
Blizzard has rejoined. He's probably wanted to watch the end of this. SFR Nell now being caught up by Weed Nation, someone we haven't seen for a while as we've been focusing on the main battle. Gaming things getting a time penalty, but by the looks of it, this could be a battle that could progress later on. But we're going to have to jump back up to Lighty, if I can find his name quickly enough, because it looks like they're very close coming down this straight. Oh, I was very good to look at that one. Because with the broken wing, here comes Joshua Fletcher on the Ferrari. McLaren Honda on Ferrari. Who will win? McLaren Honda doesn't even go for it. Ferrari takes... Oh! Did he take out Steph?
Well, he locked up and coming into turn 12, and that has worked perfectly into Josh Fletcher's hands. He's moved up into 2nd place.
P2 for the man who didn't set a qualifying time.
Well, they say qualifying is overrated sometimes, and I'm starting to see why. Steph here, who was in 2nd place only a couple of corners ago, has now dropped down to 6th place.
Wow, look at that. Siege in my number 13 house. I will keep calling it that, and I will probably talk to him if he's on the podium. But here we go. Coming up into turn 1, who's got quicker? Is Josh's broken wing gonna cause him so much issues that he has to concede the 2nd place? By the looks of it, no, he's got the straight line speed. But can he hold it through the S's? Oh, they're very close.
Siege trying to go for a cutback here as we get through the S's once again for the 23rd time. And a little bit of a debris there from a previous car. As you can see here, the McLaren struggling for grip here of Josh Fletcher. And right on board with the T-cam now.
Oi, very close there.
Very close.
Siege can smell blood in the water. He can smell that Josh's car is wounded. Now, is Siege going to make sure that he makes the overtakes on track this time? As we've noticed, he's been cutting a few corners, but nothing right now concrete for us to say that he should be handing back some positions.
Jack, I don't know what you're talking about.
DRS wide open yet.
Oh,
not yet.
Into turn 12. He's going to cut back, and again, using that interesting line there.
Oh, they're pushing. Oh, what on earth? What happened there?
He got a bit of air there, but he's now dropped down to 5th place.
Oh, this is insane battles for P2 here.
If people tell me that the F1 2017 physics aren't realistic, I want them to see that.
I got a perfect angle for it as well. He just looked like he'd just been popped out of 2 spots.
For Light E then, this has benefited him once again. He's up into 3rd place now on the back of Josh Fletcher, and you really just can't take your eyes off this battle.
No, you can't. I want to look back lower at the field at Weed Nation and that, but there's no point. We're not going to see as much battling up here.
Well, we've got 5 laps to go for this one. It's moving into do or die territory now.
I believe it's working into my code word, which is Daniel Ricciardo. If you can't tell what that is, it's when I yell it, it means I'm going to do a dive bomb.
Well, it might turn into that territory very, very soon, if it hasn't already. But 4 cars here battling it for 2nd place at the moment. Steph's starting to drop back. That's drawing Honey Badger in. Talk about a Daniel Ricciardo. This Honey Badger looks like he's smelled that broken front wing of Steph. 2 seconds separates him.
Oh, Ferrari and McLaren getting close. Away. Sorry to interrupt you. Coming along the DRS straight. Oh, there's a Renault going sideways. Here they come. I'm not sure what... I think Josh is going for a defensive line there. There's overtakes everywhere. But by the looks of it... Oh, there's Lighty going for the even inside line. And he's got past him into P2. But he's too deep. Come the Ferrari. Ferrari off. Sauber alongside him. Oh, God, David Croft needs to be on here. I can't do it anymore.
Well, I'm happy to take over. Light E there has to defend from Draw here, trying to go down the inside. But Siege here could have another go to try and get himself back up the field once again. And your position isn't guaranteed in this battle here, as everyone taking a very different line coming through at turn 18 there as they head towards turn 20 now. All single file for now as they cross the line. 4 laps to go.
Tell you what, I didn't think before I saw this race, I didn't think you could overtake into the final corner at USA. These gentlemen have proved me wrong.
Even it's single file for now. Maybe waiting and seeing who can blink first. It's always a risky strategy. Meanwhile, then, the 7th, or in 7th place, I should say, is Honey Badger, chasing down Steph here for 6th place. Steph with that damaged front wing, and looking at Honey Badger, he's thinking this is easy prey.
He is. He most certainly is. Is he going to get past him before we have to jump back up? See DRS for the other guys?
Well, he's certainly looking at it, trying to get a better exit coming out of turn 9 through the kink of turn 10. And will he have a go round the outside, maybe? Into turn 11?
No, not yet.
Have the DRS.
Going to jump back up, though, towards Joshua Fletcher, who I think's got enough in the tank to stay away from the Ferrari. The Ferrari having to defend from behind.
Yes, and we've got this calming down just a little bit.
Oh, Honey Badger going for the move! Calming down, what are you talking about? Honey Badger gone for the move on the very inside. Still side by side, coming into the corner to before traction. They're locking wheels. Locking wheels again. Still there. And Honey Badger has been just forced out a little bit. Techno Thriller. Season 1 champion. I can't say it enough. Oh, traction claiming another victim! And he's lost his wing. Oh,
that's terrible for Steph. He was just trying to nurse that car home, but he lost the back end coming out of, I believe that was turn 15 there.
Yeah, traction corner claiming it's another victim in this race. Oh.
3 laps to go, and we're heading towards turn 1 again. This is Siege on the inside of Troll. Does he try and make the move stick? No, he doesn't. But the drivers behind Josh Fletch, all 3 of them are trying to take a wider line to get a better apex, and they're all still one behind each other. As Honey Badger will look to try and get a part of this this battle here sooner rather than later.
This must be infuriating for Lighty. He's having to defend from behind him and ahead of him and attack. This shows that he's a brilliant driver, knowing where to defend, where to attack. But he's gone wide there. He's got his league mate on the side. Are they going to look at 3 wide? No, they won't make an overtake. The Sauber is going to stay in that position for DRS, but this has allowed Josh Fletcher to get a little bit further away in that McLaren.
Well, this is Siege now, coming on the inside of Traw as we head towards turn 12 once again. And green flag showing for some reason, but Traw here trying to go defensive, trying to find a way past. And he looks like he's going to try and move down the inside, but no dice, not too close enough there.
I tell you what, this battle is dragging Honey Badger and Techno Thriller up there. We are going to have, I don't know how many number car in this battle, but it's going to be insane.
Well, it's definitely going to involve down to Techno Thriller, isn't it? On the back of Honey Badger as he's pulling himself up after qualifying, guess where? 20th place, crashing out. And, well, what a result this will be for him.
What is going to happen is if Honey Badger and Techno can carry on the momentum they're carrying into this battle to get past them.
Well, we've got 2 laps to go now. We start the penultimate lap. Lambo 23.1 seconds ahead of this battle, and if you want to win the race, that's exactly where you want to be.
Lambo's just been sat on his own for a bit, hasn't he? He must be doing his knitting whilst he's driving. I'm bored. I think I'll just get this croquet done. Getting a penalty. I think that's his first of the session. All Lighty and Raw side by side. Contacts! The Sauber off. The Ferrari, the Sauber losing a bit of cascade elements by the looks of it. Siege into 3rd place. Honey Badger smells blood again. He's let him through.
Traw's run wide and he's got front wing damage. And he's just left to nurse that to the end there.
That is merciless there. Now Honey Badger, you can smell blood in the water. The blood red Ferrari looking at the Williams, old foes there. 2 teams that are brilliant in Formula 1. Here comes Honey Badger. He's looking around on the faster tyres, going around the long way round on the outside. Is he got enough? Has he got enough braking? No, he hasn't. Not yet. Is he going to be able to switch back? No, not at all. Lighty holding off Honey Badger very well.
Well, he's got to defend with all his might now because Siege has got a front and looks like he's going to try and build a gap towards Lighty.
Oh, is that damage on his wing? Oh, traction, and he's caught it back. Techno Thriller getting through. Bloody hell, pardon my French, that was mental.
Well, Lighty's still having to defend from Techno Thriller now as we're on to the last lap of the race as we've got to keep an eye for when Lambo crosses the line. We can't let this battle get in the way of that.
I certainly can't. Ah, Fletcher boy making big headway here, trying to see if he can get, say, ahead of Siege. My voice is going already. Little bit of tyre banging there. Techno Thriller, and Techno Thriller's been forced off the track by Lighty. By the looks of what I saw, Lighty, the hand of anger going up. Techno letting him through, but making a mistake on where to let him through. Here comes Honey Badger, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which means he's pushing like mental. I can't hand the mic back yet. I'm enjoying it too much.
Well, this is insane stuff. We're just having a look at Lambo. He's coming out of turn 12 now, heading through into turn 13, now into sector 3. Well, it's been a very quiet race in terms of his race today. All he's had to do is try and run away from it in the first 5 laps as he's coming out of turn 15 now, heading through 16 and 17, and then through 18. Well, he's 24 seconds ahead, and just keep an eye on that battle as...
big changes! I'm going to have to jump up.
Lambo. Well, he's just about to cross the line. It's Lambo who's going to take the victory here in USA.
But who's in second place? That's the question. Right now, it's Siege, or is it Fletcher Boy? Is it going to be a mental move? Right now, Honey Badger is in 4th place. He's made the move. Siege is on the inside, on the outside, on the inside. I can't tell anymore. I've gone nuts. Fletcher Boy has just lost that unless he dives into this corner. No! Siege takes 2nd place. But on the line, Lighty, 4th. Techno Thriller, contact. Oh, hey! Where was that from?
Finishes they've ever seen. Well, all penalties added up there. Looks like unofficial results see Honey Badger take 4th place, Traw 5th, Lighty 6th, and Techno Thriller in 7th.
That was mental. Chopper now passing the line in 8th place. He's done a solid. Another battle now in Steph. He's close behind Gamey Things. He's just past Gamey Things now. That's Gamey Things passing the line. Lee Nell dropping to 12th. Oh, this has been a difficult race for certain drivers. You can see who've struggled around this track. USA Unforgiving going to drop down. Humbug crossing line in a disappointing 15th, but now back into 12th. Okay. SFR Fletcher, SFR Nightwalker has finished. T. Jonas, the last car on track, getting a bit of airtime. Not seen you in a while. Number 6 going wide, showing off, and he finishes the race.
Well, the race winner today, then, it's Lambo.
That's surprising. A Lambo finished ahead of Ferraris.
Well, he finished around about 20 odd seconds ahead. So he just kept his head down and just went away with it, ran away with it even, and rightfully takes his top step on that podium.
Look at that. So that's a Force India, a Haas, and Joshua Fletcher must be disappointed from finishing in 3rd place. And we're going to get them into the podiums to have a chat with them for the podium finishes.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am absolutely exhausted from that race.
I wonder if one of these guys. I wonder if one of these guys will give us one of their shoes filled with champagne. Look at the penalties.
So many penalties, but the unofficial results. That's Lambo for the win. Siege in 2nd, Josh Fletcher 3rd, Honey Badger 4th, Traw 5th, Lighty 6th, Techno Thriller 7th, Chopper in 8th, Steph 9th, Maze 10th, Gamey in 11th, Humbug 12th, Lienel 13th, apparently Max Verstappen in 14th, Poe in 15th, T. Jonas in 16th, Nightwalker 17th, and I believe that was Blizzard 18th, Noek in 19th, and then Darren Sinclair finishing, or rather not finishing, in 20th place. Well, Jack, what a race that was.
Oh, I need to lie down.
Absolutely.
I need a little lie down from that. But that was an intense race. I've seen some of the messages just flashing up on my phone. it wasn't just me that was lagging. By the looks of it, the entire lobby was a little bit laggy. But what about that? Techno Thriller fighting back from 20th to 7th. My choice for driver of the day right there.
Yes, absolutely, and we should let the we should let everybody watching decide who's their driver of the day as well.
Most definitely. Right, shall we see if we can get our gents into the podium, into the interview room?
Absolutely, we'll have all the podium interviews after this edit. Sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, I have to edit these, so that's just not out of nowhere.
So for the live commentary, we had a brief second of silence. Now we're gonna get the guys in there. Who are we looking at? We're looking at Lambo, who's not in the lobby anymore. SFR Joshua Fletcher, who is in there. So if you go onto his profile and just send it in, it should work well. And who was in second place? Siege. That's who we're looking for.
Yes, so we'll see if we can get those guys into this well, debrief room really, and see, especially talk to Siege and Josh Fletcher about keeping their cool in a battle like that.
That was mental. The penalties are, well, I wouldn't say penalties. The stewards are going to be very busy. Not
Absolutely.
Less for the racing. I think the 3 crashes are going to be looked at closely. Not due to any errors. I think that they may just have to be looked at to make sure that everyone was complying correctly. But that was a thrilling race. No matter who wins, I think it's going to be Lambo, seeing as he did absolutely nothing to get onto the broadcast until the end.
Absolutely, I believe. I'm right in saying that I don't think he had any penalties at all given to him by the game. So
he
drove a pretty clean race.
I'll need to watch back the footage, but by the looks of it, he just went off of it from lap 1. He just disappeared.
If you have any questions for our podium drivers, please pop them in that chat there. We'll see if we can ask them, if we can get them into the chat. Or if you've got any questions for us, I mean, we're exhausted, but we'll give them a go in answering them. Yeah,
we will stay on a little bit longer than a normal SFR broadcast just to answer some questions if anybody has them. I'm opening it up on my phone now to keep an eye out on the chat. We just turned on the volume. Okay, there we go.
I would say pick a moment of the race, but I think that battle for second, at one point, I think it was about for third, that ran all the way down to 13th. Or was it 6 to 13? You know what,
there was a moment. I thought the entire race was meant to be a race.
Well, yeah, 6 down to 13th, I think it was. All of them separated each other by a second, so that was incredible stuff.
It was a brilliant race. A fair few of you in the chat saying it was a brilliant race. I'm sorry I didn't have the chat up on my phone. I probably should have to answer some questions during the race, but it wasn't a moment to answer, was there?
No, you really couldn't just take your eyes off the screen there. So I will go back to say that I'm afraid my name isn't spelled like that. But
we will be doing podium interviews. Kieran, have you sent out the podium invites?
Well, I can do that just now. I mean,
yes, please.
I'm just trying to recover from the race, you know.
I apologise. The screen is going to go blue for a moment while I just get Fletcher Boy into the party, or suggest him, as Kieran doesn't have him. There we go. We're back on board, so that should change back, and we'll get the podium interviews in. Hopefully, our Siege and Lambo will join us.
Yes, it'll be really good to hear from them, especially through that battling there.
It most definitely should be. That was the most intense battle I've seen in a long time. And I did do a nice scream when Siege had a moment. And I don't think I haven't screamed like that for a while, let's say that.
Oh, absolutely.
As Fletcher Boy walks in, mate, congratulations on third place.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, you sound tired.
Yeah.
So we'll just
how exhausting. Go on.
What we'll do, we'll just wait for the other two gentlemen to come in. Hopefully they will come in, because we want to see what they've got to say. And we'll just leave Fletch in here, just to have a bit more champagne while he sits there and nurses his poor hands from gripping their steering wheel. Most definitely. It was an absolutely brilliant, brilliant race there. Honestly, I'm trying to think back. I can't remember lap 1 at this point. The amount of things going through my head, I can't remember anything.
Well, I mean, they did go 4 wide going into turn 1 there. That's all I remember.
So we mustn't discount the apology once again for me dropping a little bit of a swear word. I didn't mean to. I couldn't focus. Thought I put that apology out there.
That's not a swear word. Don't worry about that.
Well, you got to say though that I feel sorry for our 3 retirements though. They could have been brilliant for this race.
Absolutely, but well, I'm not sure about retirements. If their points will count towards their final results there.
I don't believe they will. From what we did last time, I think it's whoever finishes gets the points. That begs the question, doesn't it? Does Nightwalker, who finished, I think, 17th place, does he get the, 3 or 4 points he'd get for that? Or would he still get 1 for being at the bottom? That's something from more mathematician person to know.
I believe it's, he will get 4 points for that. It's just whether the people who didn't finish will score those points. But we've got probably a couple of stewards' inquiries coming their way, so we can't give you any official results just yet.
No, and I don't think, by the looks of it, I don't want to be a steward in this little road.
Oh, absolutely.
Both
by the
looks
have
of
gone
it,
out, so
our gentlemen aren't coming.
Well, the invites have been sent out now, so we'll see if they join.
Give them just 30 seconds to see if they'll join. If not, we'll crack on with Fletch. I just want to put a little shout out to the pit lane reporter for SFR for once again doing a brilliant job of watching the chat. Thank you again for spending time out of your day to come and help us in the chat. We'd be nothing without you.
Yes, thank you very much.
You know what? Let's give that it and let's go on with Fletch. But I will let Kieran start the interview.
Well, Fletch, talk to me about that battle that seemed to go on for so many laps. You went for the 1 stop. How worn were those tyres towards the end of the race?
They weren't too bad actually, because I started on the super softs because obviously I disconnected from qualifying and then had to start from the back, so I had free choice of tyre. And yeah, it was a good battle, but in the end, them 2 took each other out, and I just got in front of them and then took over on the last corner, was it, or the second last corner? But yeah, I'm happy with 3rd, especially starting pretty much at the back. Yeah.
And just how intense did it get in that battle for 2nd place? Did you think at one point there was just a moment there you could lose the car?
Yeah, I nearly lost it many times, to be honest. I thought I didn't know if I was going to make it to the end of the race, but yeah. I knew I had a lot of time penalties as well, so I was trying to slow it down a bit to try and get Techno and Honey Badger into it, but in the end I couldn't slow it down enough. But yeah, it was 4. Was it 4 of us going for 2nd place or 5?
At one point it was about 5 of you going for that.
Yeah. It was
At one point, half the grid
yeah.
was there.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
What else can I ask you? Oh yeah, so 3rd place, good points for SFR. Do you think you've done enough?
Probably not. I think if me and Techno both could have qualified, we might have stood a better chance, but I don't think we've got the points to win it, to be honest, now.
And Noek retired very early on into the race. How much did that help you in your quest for 2nd place?
Yeah, it helped me obviously a lot because he's way quicker than me, but I don't know what happened. Did he crash or?
None of us know at this point. All we know is that a wheel was off the car. We don't know if there was another car involved.
I know Honey Badger had a bit of an incident with someone. I don't know what happened there, but he lost his front wing, I think, lap 18, I want to say, maybe. And
well, you have to look back on the stream to find out.
Yeah, we just got a bit unlucky, I think. I think if we had a rematch, I think we'd be able to give it a better go, to be honest.
Oh, he's
So that's
calling
that's
for a
formal
rematch.
challenge then, is it?
I'll take it. I'll happily come back in here with Kieran and see where we can go while I go through puberty.
Absolutely.
That's the question, though. Where would you prefer it to be at a different track to this if we were going for a rematch?
Yeah, I don't mind, to be honest. Any track, I don't really, not too bothered.
So I'll choose for us. We're going to Monaco next time.
Well, yeah, anywhere but Monaco.
That was an absolutely brilliant race from you and brilliant race from everyone involved. And I think from Speedforce Racing, I've got to say thank you to TTL for being such good sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've done well.
They did put on a good show, I thought, there. A little bit hairy at times, but definitely went really well there, I thought.
Well, me and Kieran most definitely have a few more grey hairs.
And a few less voices, I think.
Most definitely, sir. So, we've been streaming all the way through, and from what we can work out, we believe TTL have it. Keep an eye on the Facebook page and the Twitters to see if that's been confirmed. If you have anything to do with the stewards, send it to them. And hopefully we can see the results soon. But I want to say thank you to Kieran for doing commentary with me and putting up with my stupid voice.
It's not that stupid. I didn't have one, so you're fine with that. I just want to say thank you to Jack for co-habiting the commentary box with me. It's very surreal to have someone in the commentary box with you, so that's a good experience.
Well, I think it's time for ta-ra, as I would say on one of my videos. So, thank you all of you for watching, and make sure you look up on SFR for Wednesday, where we're heading to Spain. Let's see how I can do and see how everyone else can do in SFR.
Yes, and that only leaves me to say thank you everybody for watching. Please do go and check out the TTL channel. We race every Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah, just hop along to that channel, give us a subscribe, and yeah, hope to see you soon.
And that's to all SFR fans, go have a poke at them, because they're brilliant.
Oh, stop it, you.
I'm making him blush now.
Absolutely.
Alright, let's end the stream. See you later, guys.
Take care of yourselves, guys.